Hello from Father Ivano, from the Vigil of the Baptism of the Lord, the last Sunday of what we call the Christmas time, the Christmas season. Is from Luke. Every evangelist, Luke, Mark, Matthew, and John, they have this gospel of the baptism because it's very important in the life of Jesus. But each one of them, they present it in a different way. They are not parrots. And Luke is very particular for many ways. And you will hear it because he summarizes the event, he compresses it to the key points. You will hear that there is no geographical setting. There is no mention of the desert of Judah, no mention of the river Jordan. There is no image of the water. And the Baptist, John, does nothing. So what is this about? It's about you. It's about me at a very profound level. I will proclaim the Gospel. From the Gospel according to Luke. A feeling of expectancy had grown among the people who were beginning to think that John might be the Christ. So John declared before them all, I baptize you with water, but someone is coming, someone who is more powerful than I am, and I'm not fit to undo the strap of his sandals. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire. Now, when all the people had been baptized, and while Jesus, after his own baptism, was at prayer, heaven opened, and the Holy Spirit descended on him in bodily shape like a dove. And a voice came from heaven, You are my Son, the Beloved. My favor rests on you. The Gospel of the Lord. So, no water, no drops of water, no action by the Baptist, no river Jordan, but twice Luke repeats the word heaven. Heaven opened. It did not just open, like to show off. This is heaven. But heavens open, and from heaven something comes. Two things come from heaven. One is this dove, the Holy Spirit. And the other is a voice, the voice of a father. And these two things are fundamental for you and for me. Because the whole point of this incarnation, the whole point of Christ taking flesh, your body, the whole point of Christ entering into our reality is to make it possible for our reality, your flesh, your history, your difficulties, your desires, is for all of this to receive this dove and the voice of the Father. What this Gospel announces is, first of all, that the Holy Spirit wants to enter into our life in a bodily shape. That is, He wants to enter concretely. And the form of a dove is not the form of purity. But what this dove is announcing is that your life, your marriage, your relation with your parents, can be in a form of a dove, that is, in a form of a bird, that while still on earth is able to live in heaven. That is, the relationship with your parents, with your husband, with your wife, with your history, can be inhabited by heaven, while remaining your own history, while you walking on earth. You can have the spirit of heaven. You can be gentle. You can forgive. You can reconcile. You can respond good to evil. This is why heaven open, so that the Holy Spirit may come from heaven and enter every part of your life. And then this voice, the voice of the Father, that says to you, you are my child. This is so deep, because all of us, we suffer because we don't know really whether we are loved or not loved. And this voice is saying, you are my son, my daughter, I love you. This is the most profound announcement of Christianity, that we are not orphans. We don't need to live as if we are an orphan society, or an orphan spirit, or an orphan child. We are not. And this gospel breaks this lie. This gospel comes into your life, in every part of your life where there are doubts. Am I loved? Am I really loved? And breaks and destroys all the if, all the buts, all the maybe, perhaps, and destroys them all and replaces them with the certainty that I am loved as a son. And this reality wants to be in me, wants to be one with me. You know, if you meet someone, this person in front of you is loved or not loved. A person that knows that is loved has a different voice, has a different posture of the body, reacts to situations in a different way, takes risks in a certain way, is open to reality and to life in a certain way, because what possesses this man or this woman is that they are loved. It's written in the reality, in the DNA. And they don't need to think about it. They are loved. And this is what this gospel wants to give you. It wants to break everything in you that is a comma, a semicolon, a parenthesis, where inside of this colon, semicolon, comma, parenthesis enters the question mark. I am not sure I'm loved. Look at my suffering. I'm not sure that I am really the daughter of God. I don't feel like that. This gospel breaks all of that and wants to replace the deep reality that we have, that we are, that you are loved. Even if at the moment you are full of sins, even if you don't feel loved, even if you don't have at the moment the proofs of that, you are loved as a daughter of God, as a child of God. Let us rejoice of this beautiful good news that is about us. Let us rejoice, let us cherish it, and see you next Sunday. Merry Christmas.